There is no way voters, especially minorities, will not hold Joe Biden accountable for the border crisis. We all know who's to blame for this. We all know that Joe Biden, with his stroke of a pen, rolled back all the protections that Donald Trump placed at the border to stop the influx of illegal immigrants from coming in. We all know this, and but we're going to talk a little bit about it. And um, the loony left, the Biden administration, all of them are going to get a rude awakening come November. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I'll talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Red State, from Becky Noble. She reports that the grand poobahs at the Biden re-election committee are no doubt in a state of panic they never thought they would be. After vanquishing the bad orange man, there was nowhere but up. The sky's the limit, right? The American people would never notice the large numbers of people illegally coming across the southern border. It happens every day. Who is going to know? Well, whatever the plan was, it has obviously backfired big time. No duh, no joke. The sheer volume of people coming into the country is like nothing we have ever seen. And now Americans are most definitely paying attention. It has become the number one issue this election year. We have received over 6 million illegal immigrants in this country. That's more than 30, I think it was 36 states. More people than 36 states, individual states. More than Nevada and states like that. That many illegal immigrants has filtered in through this country. It's just crazy. How are we as a nation supposed to support an entire state worth of people? We can't do it. It's unsustainable. And they know this. But even Democrats are getting antsy about the situation and are realizing that it could cost Joe Biden re-election. What do they think they can do about it? So we got Rasmussen reports tweeted out. Is it accurate to call the border situation an invasion? Of course, it's an invasion. When you have millions of thousands of illegal Chinese, who's supposed to be our adversary, illegal Chinese immigrants coming into this country. Um, we don't know if they're with the CCP or not. It is an invasion. But he said it's accurate. Okay, so this is the question they asked: is it accurate to call the border situation an invasion? And white people said 60% of white people said it is accurate. 74%, way more. Black people said it's accurate. Other minorities, 73% say it's accurate, and all voters together said 65% said it's accurate. So the majority of the country and the majority of minorities in particular believe that we are being invaded. So what is the left going to do about that? And for Senator Schumer to launch this work permits canard in an election year looks like gross political malpractice. This is how you know they are tone deaf. The majority of Americans and the majority of minorities who they supposed to be catering to, what they try to say they cater to, which is false, but I digress. Um, the majority of them, your constituents, don't want this illegal immigration, but yet you're gonna allow them to have work permits. But it says this is Schumer Langford border deal. Increase green cards by 50,000 a year. Work permits for adult children of H-1B holders. Immediate work permits to every illegal alien released from custody. Taxpayer-funded lawyers to certain UACs and mentally incompetent aliens. 5,000 migrants per day allowed in the U. How is this the border deal? How is restricts parole for those who enter without authorization between ports of entry? So we gonna allow up to 5,000 in. I mean, this is madness. Again, majority of the people don't want this. Well, one thing possibly being considered is that Joe Biden will issue an executive order regarding the border. And he told us there was nothing else he could do about it. Surprise. Why now, you ask? Because Biden will give the State of the Union address on March 7th. Apparently, the perfect time to issue such an order and then tell the nation that the Republicans don't want to fix the border. But as we have learned over the past 3 years, gaslighting is a way of life for this administration, and the American people know better. As usual, the people that Democrats claim to care about, and this is my point, care about the most in reality are the ones they care about the least. There would be minority communities in New York, Harlem. Residents recently attended a meeting where the possibility that an abandoned apartment complex was going to be converted to illegal immigrants, to house illegal immigrants. Sorry. And Mayor Adams showed up unexpectedly and told the residents he did not agree with housing migrants in the building when the surrounding community had needs that had not been met. But residents say they have seen bunk beds being moved into the building, and no one is being told what is happening. Amid the backlash from the potential plan, Adams has since announced the reversal of the plan. In Chicago, progressive Mayor Brandon Johnson had angry constituents has had angry constituents to worry about for a while now. He don't care. But back in November, a city council member became a council meeting became a rowdy affair as city officials were planning to put tent cities up for illegal immigrants in largely poor Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. Of course, where else are they going to put it? And again, the same problems New Yorkers are battling, Chicagoans are dealing with as well. City funds that could be going towards the needs of legal residents in the city, going towards the needs of illegal immigrants first. Again, America last. When it comes to leftists, Americans will always be last. They don't care anything about you. And then Brian O'Shea, he tweeted out, get this out far and wide. Biden's U.S. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar will be in Chicago tomorrow at about noon local time. Get this out, especially to those communities in Chicago that have been protesting the invasion of their city by illegal immigrants. Um, he said Black voters in Chicago vowed to flip the city red over migrant crimes crisis. Time for us to make a change. The Windy City has historically battled soaring crime and mostly recently a crippling migrant crisis. So is this it? Is this it for Chicago? Is Chicago going to stop voting Democrat? I doubt it. I doubt it. But it has awakened a lot of Black people to the Democrat part the Democrat policies and how they're actually harming minority families. But in the Boston neighborhood of Roxbury, residents there are also letting city officials have it. Residents there have been forced out of a community center to make way for the housing um, of illegal immigrants. Again, there seemed to be no informing the residents of the change. Of course not, because they know we don't want this. So of course they're gonna do it without consulting their constituents. Because look at the numbers: 67% of white people, 74% of Black people, 73% of minorities. No one wants this. But members of a local baseball team showed up for batting practice recently and found the doors locked with illegal immigrants being housed inside. Once again, it appears that the city cares more about the welfare of people who are in this country illegally as opposed to American citizens. And like Chicago, resources in the city's poorest neighborhoods are being confiscated to house the migrants. Roxbury is a 57% Black, 30% Hispanic, and just 6% white. Of course, they're not going to put it in these rich neighborhoods. You would never see these illegal immigrant encampments in rich neighborhoods. They're going to put them in poor Black and Hispanic neighborhoods because they don't care anything about those people. But some Democrats are secretly, or maybe not so secretly, beginning to sweat. Senator Joe Manchin, during a recent appearance on Fox News channel, stated in no uncertain terms that blame for the border disaster lays squarely at the feet of Joe Biden. He stated in part, first of all, the border crisis that we have are Joe Biden's fault. Starting from day one, I disagreed, and we've been arguing about this back and forth. So they waited too long. But now they've come to the table to fix a horrific problem that we have. No, they haven't. That's not an immigration bill. And saying that we have to wait another 10 months for the politics to be right for somebody is wrong. So we have a chance to fix it. Again, I'm gonna stop there because Manchin don't know what he's talking about. That is not a real border bill. I just went over that. How is allowing 5,000 illegal immigrants to come in this country every day? How is that a border bill? But Joe Manchin might not be the strongest example of a sweaty Democrat, but Joe Biden's poll numbers among black and Hispanic voters are a very strong reason for Democrats to sweat. The latest USA Today Suffolk University poll showed that Biden's support among black voters has fallen to 63%, down from 92% in 2020. Now, it's funny now because at first, it's funny now you seeing black people have to kind of secretly, some people have to secretly support Joe Biden now, the ones that actually do, and the ones that continue to cape for Joe Biden, it's just despicable watching them do it. But Hispanic support for Biden has also plummeted from 59% to just 34%. The common thread among those groups of Americans, they can very clearly see Joe Biden caring much more for people who have no business being in this country in the first place. They are also beginning to realize that the Democrat Party has been making promises to them for 50 years and they never delivered. Combine those two facts, and there is no amount of telling voters, especially minority voters, not to believe their lying eyes or executive orders. That is all the fault of the rascally Republicans. Church Militant tweeted out, Democrats are losing the allegiance of minority voters, February Gallup poll found. So there you have it. Is this the end of the Democrat Party, or will they try to figure another way out to lie and pull lie to their constituents and try to get away with leaving this border wide open? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time. Peace.